What part of your personality do you fake? My ability to perform small talk. I have absolutely no patience for it. I've got an entire customer service personality that's fake. I work in customer service. It's gotten to the point where out of habit I'll say have a good day to friends and family in a weird and almost fake tone. This reminds me of my father in a different sense, and in a way that always made me laugh internally. My father was a car salesman. I'd wake up at normal hours on Sundays because he'd cook up a storm of a breakfast for those who were up. If you slept in, tough shit. When he'd ask you how you wanted your eggs cooked, it sounded like he was trying to sell you a car. Oh hey bud. Could I interest you in some eggs? I think you'd like them sunny side up, so you can dip them in this here wheat bread and they match perfectly. You don't want the white bread because it gets too soggy to fast with eggs. And hey, if you don't want that, I can do some scrambled eggs and bacon. That's always a good choice. Finishes cooking. Here ya go my friend. I hope you enjoy your rock bottom break to Befest edit, grammar edit, so people don't think I was literally sleeping in tough crap. Toughness. I'm actually very sensitive and easily affected. Same. It boils down to two elements for me. One is a self-defense mechanism. Don't want to seem fragile and let people know that I have feelings that can be taken advantage of, so I come off as cold and uncaring. Insensitive to is not wanting to burden others with my feelings. I guess I'm not comfortable being vulnerable, even with my so close friends and family. This is due to multiple reasons, but mainly when I've allowed myself to be openly vulnerable, my trust has been betrayed and I've been abused or belittled, and I guess that's how I got to number 1 to begin with. You are not alone. I work in a welfare office, and am closed by 3 walls from everyone else. I don't see anybody whole day if I don't get out of my spot, as I am in the very back of the back office. I had a colleague, sweet girl. I could chat with her about games and pop culture as she is a kind of a nerd. Lately, she got promoted to front desk dealing with people, but for a bit more money, and she was sitting in a different spot, but she would always come to have a lunch in the back and chat with me, as we are the only ones having lunch brought from home. Today, she stayed where she is. That hurt a frickin' when I walked past and she didn't even raise her eyes. But I can't let anyone know. I am the only guy here and that would just be embarrassing. You should invite her for lunch. She might think you don't enjoy it for whatever reason. One thing I've learned is that, even if you hate to appear that way, it's 10 seconds of embarrassment over regret of inaction that'll last a long time. I am one of the most shy people you will ever meet. I switched grocery stores because the cashiers started to recognize me and wanted to chit chat. I didn't make one friend in college because I kept to myself. However, I am very successful at work because I know that if I don't put myself out there and act confident, I won't advance. I'm more scared of being destitute than I am shy, I guess. This extends to my relationships because I'm married. She asked me out though, and have a very tight-knit group of friends. There are certain things you just have to do. This is me. Even the wife asking me out part. One difference, I don't have a single friend. Not one. This bothers me because I know it's not normal, but between work and family, I really don't have the time or energy to be the kind of friend I would want to be. I pretend I'm clueless a lot. It could be about work, or even just about something in life. You learn a lot about the person if you act clueless in something you're quite familiar with and they're trying to BS you with what they know very little about. Likewise, you can also digest some great information about their perspective on the topic and actually learn a tip or two if they are more knowledgeable and experienced than you. The latter is the main reason why I act this way, and it's actually amazing how much I have learned since then. It really is a win-win. You'll be able to identify quickly if you think this person will make a good or bad impact in your life. And you can look like a fast learner when you start acting on your actual knowledge skills. I don't act clueless, I usually am. But even if I do know something, sometimes it's easier to just let someone new explain it to me. Sometimes it's a reassurance that I understand the subject matter. Sometimes I find out that they do something differently and why they do it that way. Sometimes you just learn faster because you are learning everyone's culmination of knowledge and you can pick the method that works best for you. Politeness. I'm not in butthole, but sometimes I really hate the pleasantries that are expected on a daily basis, specifically the workplace. Also, I feel like I act more confident and aggressive than I actually am because I work in a male-dominant field and I don't want to be looked down on. I work in customer service, so I can relate. What kind of politeness do you fake though? Because some of the stuff considered polite, I stopped doing completely. Being pleasant. Life has made me a bitter butthole and I have to force myself to be nice. On the inside I usually want to scream at most people to frick off. I can kind of identity with this. For me, it's not so much that I don't like you, it's that I actually just want to be left alone to do my own thing. The older I get, the more draining it's becoming for me to deal with other people and do anything not in my own time and my own way. These days I don't get enough sleep because of it because I stay up until ungodly hours of the morning, cherishing every second of sweet alone time that I have. I'm a lot more judgmental than I let on. My internal monologue is probably the biggest asshole I know. I'm so quick to judge everyone around me, for anything, and it's definitely one of the things I hate most. Something that helps me whenever I'm instantly being too critical of people is to make an active choice to pick out 3 things that I do appreciate or value about them. The first thought that pops into your head is what you've been taught to think, and the second one is what you choose to think. I've found this helps with self-confidence too. BC, the less you judge other people, the less you judge yourself. When I was doing my first internship, I made friends with an old engineer and we developed a sort of mentor-protege relationship. He was very knowledgeable, always up for a talk, had a teacher's mentality, he was just great. Also, his daughter was absurdly hot. That was irrelevant, but she was really fucking hot and I always think of her when I think about him. Anyway, as the weeks passed, I decided he was one of the 3 non-morons on the entire department, 15-20 people. The second non-moron was one of the most unpleasant men I've met in my life, whereas the third, let's call him Mark Cause, I can't remember his name, was kind and hardworking. So much, in fact, that every moron on the department was going to him for help. That got me curious, so I asked the boss, I called my mentor boss, why more people didn't come to him for help. He was just as easygoing and probably more knowledgeable than Mark due to sheer experience. He told me that he used to be the department's Mark when he started out. People would come to him with all sorts of stuff and he'd help them. It got so bad that people from other departments started coming to him and he'd work all the time for stuff that weren't even his responsibility. He finally found the solution. He started playing dumb and telling people I don't know. Even if it was something that I, an intern, could have figured out, the response was the same. Sorry, I have no idea. I literally spend so much time on my own lately that I feel as though my whole personality is fake when I have to interact with others. Edit. Thank you all to the response to this comment. I've read a lot. Makes you realize you are not alone even when you think you are. I sometimes feel as if I have to have these 2 personalities, which is so tiring sometimes. There are times when I don't know if I am lying to myself or others. Even my girlfriend and my parents have a different perception of who I am because I feel I have to be my best self in front of them. It is so exhausting and makes me want to run away and start new. I feel it. I'm not an extrovert by rights, nor am I an introvert the way you'd think. Essentially, I love the company of no one better than myself, and when I do interact I have no difficulty with it, but sometimes it makes me drawn and a little taxed. It's like a blow dryer being used to clean a window. I'm not cut out for the constant exhilaration and demand of conversation at all hours. Confidence obligatory. Edit. Thank you for the silver and gold. To clarify, it's completely fake and doesn't last. In the moment I'm having an internal panic attack thinking everyone knows I'm faking it. I worry they think I'm an idiot or something. As soon as I'm away from whatever situation I was in I have anxiety like none other, sometimes full-blown panic attacks. Then I replay it in my head over and over. I've been trying to fake it till I make it my entire life. Not sure how to make it. Maybe one of these days. I had a mid-year review at my job the other day, and when asked do you want to move up and take on more responsibility, I said no. I am happy with what I do and get paid quite well to do it. My supervisor was like, okay, fair, but can we say you're willing to train new people so management doesn't think you're just coasting? I don't get it. I do something I enjoy and adding more to that will make me enjoy it less for a very small increase in pay. What's wrong with doing what you like and not trying to constantly climb the ladder? Maybe I like the view here. The corp I work for is like this too, but thankfully I have a manager who feels the same way I do, lol. So those meetings go hey, so I just want the medium rating. So I just give full effort to doing the job and not much else. Hope that's okay. And she goes flying under the radar. Yup, I get it, don't worry, I'm doing the same, lol. Keep doing your job and I'm good with it. Subscribe and like for more content like this.